What is up, guys? My name is Chris and welcome back to Live with ROG. Today we'll be talking about the ROG Strix Scar 2, and before that we will be giving out ROG Gladius 2 mouse and ROG Scabbard mousepad. We're giving out 2 sets of these, so make sure you answer the questions in the comment below during the stream, and please help us share and tag a friend on this stream. So we have Shah back again from Twitter.net.
Nice to be here again. Yeah.
Right. So today we'll be talking about the Scar 2. We're just going to recap some of the features. So the Scar 2 has our new 144Hz slim bezel display, a Hypercool Pro technology with dual 12V fans and anti-dust cooling, range boost technology where there is 4 antennas, and Aura Sync, where you can change the colors of the keyboard, the light bar, and the ROG logo. And we have the Hyper Strike keyboard. So it's slightly curved keyboards and with transparent WASD keys. So we have covered the features. We have not covered the specs in the last episode. So Shah, would you mind talking a little bit about the specs?
Sure. Okay, now the Scar 2, basically the body itself, right? It's made by aluminium hairline gunmetal material, and it's this RGB logo at the back which supports Aura Sync, right? It's about 2.4 kilograms in weight. It's quite light. Yeah, it's quite light, right? And it's powered by Intel i7 8750H at 2.2 gigahertz, right? Turbo boost at 4.1 gigahertz, right? And it has a dual 12V fans, right? Which we already covered in our previous segment as well. It's a 15.6-inch full HD display, 300 nits brightness.
Very bright display.
And 144 hertz.
And this is actually an IPS panel.
Yes, it's an IPS panel as well.
It's not a TN, it's an IPS panel.
It's very
nice colors. You get 130% sRGB range.
And 178 degrees viewing angle. Now, a lot of people ask, why 178 degrees angle? Because 180 degrees is already on this side. It's practically impossible, our eyes, to see at 180. So the 2 degrees slightly above is the minimum that we need to lift ourselves up to be able to see from the surface. And that's maximum as much as the IPS can cover. There's no way for us to get anything more than that, unless someday maybe they start making, inverted curve displays or something. But that's about the display. Now, down inside here, we have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAMs. That's on a single slot, which we have another slot which you can expand it to another with another 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, right? That's a lot of RAMs there, right? And inside we also have NVMe SSD, all right? And
the fastest in the market.
Yes, it's the fastest storage in the market, right? And we also have a Seagate FireCuda SSHD as the secondary drive, which is also very, very fast, right? We'll come back on that one later on, all right? But apart from that, we also have an illuminated chiclet keyboard, right? Which is something that is very interesting. We covered in our previous segment there, all right? And other than that, I think we have covered. We have plenty of ports there. We have USB Type C. We have USB Type A as well. We have HDMI.
We have DisplayPort as well.
DisplayPort.
And it supports G-Sync output. If you have a G-Sync monitor, you just plug this DisplayPort out to the G-Sync monitor.
A G-Sync monitor, it will work.
This is DisplayPort 1.2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's DP 1.2. So that's the specs of this beautiful machine right here.
We'll be talking about a little bit more about their performance a little while, but before that, the first question is coming right up.
Here it is.
So Shah, do you want to do the honors?
Okay, before I ask the question, there's something that I've not told people, is that the mouse that they were giving today, the ROG Gladius 2, is actually my daily driver. I love this mouse so much because it supports Aura Sync, right? And I actually use it as my daily driver. It has this trigger lock on the side. A trigger lock on the side. If you're playing FPS games, it goes very well with this car, all right? And if you're playing FPS games, and if you want to lock your FPS, there's a small trigger on the side. It's a beautiful mouse. It just fits with my palm. This is my favorite. So I'm going to be jealous whoever wins this, but this one today is for you guys, all right?
So let me open up.
Look at that. Look at that beauty down there.
Box. It's a very nice box. Right, so Shah, let's ask the question.
Okay, let's ask. Okay, we have talked quite elaborately about the display just now, right? Okay, so the first question will be related to that. What is the frequency what is the frequency and the response time, all right, of the SCAR2 display?
Yeah.
That's the first question. Answer that quickly.
Yep.
Answer that right now.
Make sure you answer them in the comment section and share with your friends as well.
Yes.
For a chance to win these babies.
These
right
are
here.
beautiful.
Yeah, we're giving out 2 sets, by the way.
Yes.
All right. So now we'll move on to the performance side of it. We did a special thing. We actually tore it down.
Oh, look at
So
that.
you can actually see what's inside.
Yes. This is advice, do not do this at home.
Yeah.
This is very, very technical. Don't do this at home.
You will void your warranty if you try to remove the heatsink.
Yep.
So please don't do that.
Make sure if you have to do any upgrades, if you're not familiar with the insides of the laptop, get a professional to do it for you. That's something I always recommend my people as well. Make sure you always get someone who's expert to do the upgrades for you. Right? Be very, very careful with it.
You do not want to void warranty on this expensive machine because it comes with 2 years global warranty. Right. So let's talk about some.
Okay. Now, let's see what we have here, all right? Remember we were talking about the Hypercool Pro, right? We had 2 dual 12-volt fans, all right, with 0.1 millimeter fins. Right now, look at this. These are the fans, right? And look at the fins inside here. These are very, very minute and very, very slim fans, all right? This is brushless 12V fans, right? And these fans are the ones which have the duty to pull out the hot air from the chassis of the machine. And if you look at the fins design, it's not straight, it's curved sideways. Right? It's curved sideways. Now, the curving here itself is how the fan pushes out the heat and the dust. The most important part here is dust, because these type of fans, they will accumulate dust very easily. So that's what this design, slightly curved design does. It pushes out the heat from that.
So the fins actually will push the dust all the way to
the heatsink
tunnel right here.
And there's a heatsink down up here.
So you see there's a little tunnel right here. It's quite hard to see, but if you look at this, this is where the dust comes out. So that's why we call it anti-dust cooling. So the fan pushes the dust, and the dust comes out from the tunnel right here. So it doesn't collect as much as that.
Okay, now moving on. So what we have here is that if you look at the heatsink, it's quite big. The pipes are very nicely designed, all right? And these cover the CPU and the GPU together, right? And these 2 fans together work to push out the heat from both of them, right? Now, talk about cooling, let's talk about a bit of performance, all right? This is the NVMe PCIe Gen 3 X4 SSD. It's
265 gigs.
265 gigs. This is one of the fastest SSDs that you can find in the market. NVMe is the latest technology. It's even faster than the average SATA 3 SSD that you plug it inside your desktop.
It's like about 2.5 times faster.
Yep. In fact, you can get easily roughly 2.5K to 3K read-write speed on
megabytes per second.
It's very, very fast. Right? So that's the NVMe SSD.
Let's see. This is a
Toshiba.
Made,
they give a Toshiba NVMe SSD. Right? So now, right on this side is what we were talking about, the RAM slots. So this one here itself is a 16 gigabyte DDR4 RAM, all right? And there's another slot for you here. You can just put another RAM here, and you will have 32 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4 RAM.
The RAM runs at 2666 megahertz.
2666 megahertz, right? So which is actually very, very fast. It is sufficient for the i7-8750H processor, right? So it's synchronized very well with that, right? Now down here is our module, all right? This thing right here. That's okay. This is the speaker here. So this thing right here is the module. This is the Wi-Fi module. This is the one that does all the 2x2 MU MIMO AC antenna Wi-Fi. So this is the module actually, and if you look at it, it's the one that is close, put right next to the NVMe. This thing right here, right? So this is the Wi-Fi module, right? This is the one. This is something that ASUS has put a lot of hard work into it, because to implement the 2x2 Wi-Fi antenna and make sure that you have lag-free gaming experience, this thing plays a very important role, right? And why it's important for me to tell you about this is because if you are going to replace your NVMe, all right, be very careful because the wires are going through here. You would not want to jeopardize on that.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so this is the NVMe which you can also replace if you want to have a larger storage, and this is the RAM which you have another slot that you want to upgrade as well. But another thing that is worth mentioning is down right here inside this enclosure here, we have a Seagate FireCuda SSHD. Now SSHD and HDDs are different, right? SSHD being a faster one, right? And this is 1 terabyte, by the way. All right. Now SSHD has a flash NAND memory, all right, which allows much faster caching compared to a conventional HDD, right? So that's the one that they have inserted inside this. It does have a spinning disk which rotates at 5,400 RPM still, but the NAND flash assists it in delivering files, caching them much quicker, right? Which makes your game delivery a lot more smoother. So you can put your OS on your NVMe, and you can put your game data on 1 terabyte of storage.
256 gigs, you can even put a couple games.
You can put a couple games on it as well.
Not an issue. If you really want that speed, just put it on an NVMe.
Exactly. But if you need more storage for that, you have 1 terabyte on this. You know, so
but
that's.
Do note that the SSHD, when you launch an application, games initially, it will not load as fast as the NVMe because it still need time to collect particular data that you use most, and then you store it in the cache. Then the next probably after
subsequent. The next time when you run the game, if you run it purely on SSHD, the next subsequent loads are faster. That's how SSHD does. But NVMe, you know, the NAND flash itself is flash memory, but NVMe itself is flash on its own. So that means this storage itself is flash as well, which makes a whole lot difference. So storage is definitely uncompromised on this SCAR2. On this side, what we have here is the SD card slot here, right? So you can put your SD card storage inside here.
Oh, this is an SD card slot.
Yes, it actually helps you if you have a DSLR camera or something. You know, so if you want to do photo editing and whatnot, it doesn't mean that a gaming laptop will not do your productivity.
And this thing has 6 cores.
Yes,
you can edit video.
6 cores with 12 threads, by the way. It's very, very powerful, right? So the SD card slot is there if you need to transfer your files and whatnot, right? So, but that's about our teardown on this machine, all right? So it's very nicely designed, and look at it. It's red. The motherboard's red. When was the last time we saw a red motherboard inside? You know,
it's always green.
Yeah, it's just boring colors, right? But this one is red. It's beautiful. You know, on inside, it just actually put a lot of thought process in that and make sure that inside looks beautiful as well. You know?
You can see the heat pipes; they are all blackened out.
Yeah, that's the ROG DNA, black and red. There's
normally you see the other laptops out there. You have like this uncoated copper.
Yes,
color.
it's brown, bronze color. It's not really that beautiful, but this is black, right? It's matte black, right? And I wish the RAMs were red too, but you know we can't find that type of thing in the market, so I guess we'll deal with that, right? So that's the teardown of this machine. All right. So
right now, are you ready for the second giveaway question?
Oh yes.
You want to do it?
Oh yes. Okay. Okay, we have already torn down the machine for you, all right? We have everything in front of you. Now, I think the one that is most interesting inside this machine is the feature that we're talking a lot. And even since the last segment, we're talking about it a lot, even this segment, right? So the question is about that. Get ready with your keyboards. The question is, we do know that the SCAR2 comes with 12V fans. How many fans are there in the SCAR2? Write your answer down there.
So the question is, how many 12V fans are in the ROG Strix SCAR2? So make sure you answer them in the comment section for your chance to win one of these sets.
Awesome babies.
Make sure you share as well. So we'll take a couple of questions. So let's see.
What do we have here?
Let's see here. What type of frame rates we can get from the SCAR2 is in gaming performance?
Okay. Talk about the frame rates. Okay, that's actually a very interesting question. Actually, okay. Now let's talk about the performance of the SCAR2. Now, see, different games are going to give you different frames.
Correct.
But you know,
so
we want to.
This particular model is a 1070. In NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070.
1070, right, with 16 gigs of RAMs, right? So based on that specifications, based on the test that we have done, the first game, I think the one that's on hype right now is the Monster Hunter World, right? So Monster Hunter World, we got roughly about 80 to 90 FPS.
That's on high settings.
On high settings, On high settings, we actually got 80 to 90 FPS, which is actually extremely well. Anything, in my in my opinion, anything above 60 FPS is beautiful gameplay already. Yeah. So getting 80 to 90 FPS is beautiful. You will. Trust me, the Monster Hunter experience becomes remarkable at 80 to 90 FPS.
But I do notice there's like a little frame rate drop when you're in a bigger environment.
Yeah, but that's given. Even the strongest machines are having that.
Yeah.
And above all, Monster Hunter is a very new game. It's not fully optimized yet. And being that, it still supports 80 to 90 FPS. That's pretty good. All right, so that's Monster Hunter. Now, other than that, we have FPS games that we have tested as well.
So this is an FPS machine. So let's talk about
I think my
FPS
favorite
game.
FPS game that I'm playing a lot right now is Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
love
one of
that
my.
too,
We did a lot of live stream. You can check out on ROG's page. We did a lot of live streams as well. You know, so one of them was me inside the game as well. You know, so our Rainbow Six Siege is quite a demanding game actually. You know, the graphics are extremely beautiful, and if you look at the details that they have put inside the game, you know, the smallest detail, you know, when you break the glass and when you're building up the doors and stuff like that, right? The little attention plays a very important role, right? And usually, conventional laptops will be struggling to push this game, right?
But this thing has a 6-core i7.
Yes,
and
so
1070.
with the 6-core and 12 threads and the GTX 1070, we actually managed to get 150 to 165 frames per second on high settings.
So this is way over the limit of the 144 Hz panel.
Exactly.
So
That's a 144 Hz.
So you'll be able to utilize the 144 Hz panel.
Well on it,
no
so
problem.
if you are a fan of Rainbow Six Siege, this game is excellent for that, right?
So another popular, that's pretty good. So another shooting game that a lot of you guys are playing out there right now is PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG.
So PUBG on high settings, I managed to get 70 to 80 frames.
70 to 80 frames.
Yeah. So it's
still above 60 FPS as well.
Yeah.
Still above 60 FPS. You know, I think that's still a very remarkable. I mean, if you use any conventional laptops today, right? PUBG is a very heavy game.
Very heavy.
Yeah,
and
it took them
still
years.
Very unoptimized.
Yeah, it took them years to even get it to where it is right now, and it's still buggy, and there's still a lot of issues in the game. And most of the laptops we barely do 30 FPS, right? Conventional laptops, but this one managed to actually pull 70 to 80 FPS. That's crazy. That's beautiful. That gives you an excellent performance on PUBG as well. So that's another FPS game that we have.
Right now we're going to take another question, which is what can be upgraded in the ROG Strix Scar 2? Okay. What can be upgraded?
What can be upgraded? Okay, now we did the teardown earlier just now, right? We showed you what's inside. All right. If you really have to upgrade this machine, all right, the first thing that you can upgrade is RAMs. You know, usually most of the time when people buy laptops, the first thing that they will request is RAMs. You know, because RAMs are pretty much the most important part. That's the first path of storage that goes into your input-output sequence. You know, so RAMs plays a very important role here, right? So that's the first thing you can upgrade, and you can just buy a slot and just put it inside, you know, because you already have 16 gigs here. You can buy another stick of 16 gigs, put it inside, and you have 32 gigs there. That's the first thing you can upgrade.
So the hard drive also can be upgraded.
Yeah, this hard drive, I'm not sure why would you want to do that, right? But let's
you
say
want another
SSD.
terabyte.
Yeah, if you're going to buy 1 terabyte SSD, which is very, very expensive, you know, but you know,
if you want to do that option,
you can do that. You can just remove a couple of screws down here, right? Take out this enclosure, and you can replace the Fire QD SSD with an SSD, right? So I'm not sure why would you do that again, but you know, if that's what you want to do.
If you really need a bigger Fire QD SSD, you can get a 2 terabyte.
2 terabyte, yeah. You can also upgrade that as well. Yeah, they're available in the market as well.
If you want to really go overkill.
Yeah.
So the other thing can be upgraded is the NVMe SSD as well.
Let's say you want a larger storage, all right, or you want to have
2
terabyte NVMe SSD. You want to put more games on NVMe itself. You can actually get to a certain extent quite a gain in performance if you run everything from NVMe itself, right? So if let's say that's your option, if that's your forte, if that's what you want to do, you can also upgrade. It's very easy. You can just take out this screw right here, and you can remove the NVMe and slot in another one. But make sure you buy the compatible one. Don't get the SATA 3 one. Get the PCIe Gen 3 X4. That's faster.
That's the fastest.
That's the fastest actually. Right. So make sure you get that right. So these are the 3 things that I would recommend you to upgrade. You know, there's nothing else that you actually need to upgrade inside this laptop.
Right.
Already.
So we'll take one more question, which is from Joe.
Joe, right.
So how long does the battery last on the laptop?
Okay, the battery.
Okay.
You see, the thing that we have to remember is that a gaming laptop, is not made to game on battery.
Yeah.
You know, because this is a very powerful machine, right? i7 8750H and the GTX 1070 cards are pretty power hungry, right? And your battery will not be able to deliver the power that is needed to run it at its optimum performance.
Yeah.
But let's say if you do want to run it at with the battery as well. Let's say if you're gonna game with it, right? I think we can easily we have managed to clock slightly above an hour. Yeah, slightly above an hour on battery gaming, pure battery gaming, right?
But well, gaming on the battery is not technically advisable because you need that extra juice to power the 1070 card. So it's best that you use the adapter for the best gaming experience.
True, but let's say if you forgot to bring your adapter today, right, and your friends are in dire need for you to carry them because you have been performing better on your SCAR 2, all right? So if you do have to run on battery,
don't forget your battery because this really needs you really
power
need
up.
the extra juice.
But if needed, slightly above 1 hour. I managed to get about 1 hour to about 1 hour 30 minutes on very, very heavy gaming, and this is on its heavy load, consistent heavy load at maximum frames and maximum temperatures as well. You know, so that's the performance that's the battery life that we got for that. But if you're doing productivity tools, the machine can give you easily 3 to 4 hours actually. Productivity is very, very good.
I guess this is where we're gonna end the stream.
All right.
So thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Live with ROG. Please make sure you answer these questions below in the comment. We'll be giving out these 2 awesome prizes.
Yep.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.